Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be looking at the um, Symbiote mod. It's one of my favorite mods. It's very, very fun. It's just a really good mod, and I wanted to do a nice little breakdown of all the abilities and different things you can do with it. The link to the mod will be in the description, and so will this. If you want to support me, you can send me money via Cash App. I do very, very much appreciate it. Any and all support is welcome. Everything gets put into my education and into new equipment and just better hardware so I can record and do better things so I can do more variety content hopefully in the future. I do hope that you guys consider it. Yeah. And let's get into the symbiote mod. All right. We'll start with a normal person because we don't this guy is for later. So a normal person when he has the symbiote looks like this. Please keep in mind that the symbiote cannot be deleted. It is impossible to select a symbiote. You cannot select it. You can select the person as it has its own nodes, its own pieces to select. A symbiote does not. It is essentially a moving texture that cannot be touched by you. So as soon as you spawn it, also you can't clear it without clearing everything. So if I try to clear it and I click Z to undo my last action, this does not count as an action that is made. It does not get registered. It'll count the thing before that. So if I click Z again, it'll delete the Android and not this. So if you spawn it, make sure you want it in your world because it's going to stay there until it latches onto somebody and you remove that person specifically. Now, the symbiote will try its best to latch onto a specific person from a certain radius. So if I put a person over here too far away, it won't know that he's there. It's still sliding, of course, but it doesn't actually know he's here. However, when it gets within a certain radius, it will start sensing it and it will try and move to it. All living creatures are affected by this, and when you look, he turns into a symbiote. He turns into Venom. He's a very, very, very powerful creature. He has regenerative abilities, so when the symbiote is active, or when you activate a symbiote, in order to activate it, once he's been affected by the symbiote, in order to activate it, you grab the chest and you click F to activate it. This is what the transformation process looks like. Activation, deactivation, activation. He also gets heavier. He gets significantly stronger. You can see he's taken no damage from that. His defensive capabilities are quite, quite good. I did not mean to shoot him in the chest. That was an accident. We'll ignore that. That was meant to be saved for later. But he is very strong. Don't let that fool you. He is obscenely powerful, genuinely. He cannot be stabbed properly unless I'm not sure if it's in Excalibur. Can be stabbed by Excalibur, but he's perfectly fine. But otherwise, um, he's just very strong overall, and it's very cool. He has his own special abilities. He can, you can make it so that his head comes down. I believe this is a part of the movie. I believe is why this was added. Um, at the end of the first Venom movie, um, you can see his head separate, and you can see Eddie Brock and Venom being all together at the same time in the same symbiote. And I believe that's what this is supposed to replicate. So a part of him is still there, and you can see him. This part of his body is much more vulnerable. When he's like this, he's perfectly fine. However, when shot in the head like this, he's actually much more vulnerable than normal. Venom does have regenerative capabilities though, so as long as this guy isn't dead, you should be fine. Or at least as long as his whole body's not dead. Sometimes it gets a little buggy, but this mod is still very good and it doesn't happen very often. At least not to the point where it would become irritating or annoying or detrimental to your playtime or whatever you're doing in this game. He has special abilities. Activate. Actually, let's talk about this because somebody mentioned that I missed a texture thing in my Captain America video, and I do not want to miss any texture in any new videos. So you can set whatever color you want your Venom to be on this color grid. You can set it to any color at all. You could even put the number in to get a specific number, to get a specific color. I'll turn him green because I like the color green. Now he's green, and that is so ugly. Oh my God. But you can turn him any color you want. This is kind of hard to look at, actually. Let's change that. Um, there we go. Yeah. So you can change his texture to whatever color you'd like. He has a tendril ability. If you activate the middle part of his body, his torso, you get tendrils. These will go to the nearest person and completely eviscerate them. There is obviously a range that they do not hit. They can't stretch past a certain point. They'll start moving him. So obviously it's not unlimited range. So whoever's closest to Venom, the closest living creature, gets completely decimated by these things. Yeah, that's crazy. As long as it's living, it will be targeted. As soon as it's not living anymore, it will no longer be targeted. It's a very strong ability. You can retract the tendrils by simply reactivating the middle part of his torso. You can do it manually uh, through his hand, I believe. Yes, there we go. He has another ability called the tendril ability. Another he had not called the same thing, but it is another tendril ability. This will pull in a person who's close enough. So it'll grab onto them and it'll pull them in. And I have the grabbing mod active, so as soon as he gets pulled in, he immediately gets grabbed, which is very, very cool. So you can grab them, you can slam them. Venom also has another special ability. That is, he can eat different body parts. If you click, you've noticed that he has an upper head. When you activate the upper head, you do this. However, when you activate the lower head, his mouth will open. And if you put an organism near the open part of his mouth, his tongue sticks out. And when this happens, that means he's eating. And if you give him enough time, he will completely eat it and it will get removed. So he can dispose of corpse pieces just like normal Venom would. He eats people. Um, this is very good. It's just very nice details. It's just nice that it was added. So he has this tendril ability. It's pretty long, honestly. You can grab someone from pretty damn far away. I think that should, yeah, like that's pretty good. Grab him, you can slam him into the ground or do whatever the fuck you want to do. Um, it's really cool, really cool character. He does have another ability. You can deactivate the AI in his tentacles so they don't attack things. So deactivating the whatever inside this will no it will still kill people if it touches them, but it won't actively seek anything out. So it's just they can just be there for show. If you're posing him, you're making a thumbnail for him, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's a pretty cool ability though. Or you can also reactivate it, obviously. You can set the tentacle count. So I can set the amount of tentacle he has to, we'll do 20. This will kill my computer, but we'll do it anyway. Notice how my FPS dropped from 105 to 60 for just a second. Now, if the tentacle AI is active, this will obviously cause, and you have a lot of tentacles, this will cause a bit of a performance drop because there's so many moving things that are trying to act, that are trying to find some. And you can just do this, and you can deactivate it like nothing ever happened. Let's get rid of these guys. He's still alive. There we go. He does have another ability. You can set the tentacle length. It's the same thing. This will just allow them to reach farther. Again, we'll set this to 20. Now they should be able to reach farther than they normally would. As you can see, this makes him look a lot more menacing. It's the same ability though. Next up is you can set the. Where is the weapon? I think you have to click on his hand. Click on one of his hands, and you can activate weapon ability. So instead of the tendril, the grabby thing, this thing, if you instead of doing the grabby thing, you can activate a weapon. Boom. For some reason, he has both. I have to deactivate the weapon tendril. Um, so now he has this. Deactivate weapon ability. Yeah, he can have a tendril, or he can have a tendril and a weapon, or he can have both. He can have a tendril that pulls him in and immediately crushes a living creature with the weapon. Very strong. I'm barely moving my mouse here, and it's just crushing everything. He is a very, very, very strong character. Um, yeah, he's just crazy, crazy strong. And again, he's still a normal guy. Keep this in mind. And he can become. Notice how his leg was hurt, and when he transformed into Venom, he got all better. Now let's look at this. We're gonna take the normal guy and we're going to kill him. Not kill him. We're going to almost kill him. We're going to stab the shit out of him. Maybe we'll crush his legs too. Yep. There we go. The Venom normally doesn't activate on its own. That just happened because the Venom got transferred out due to an ability. One of Venom's weaknesses, that's what I meant to be, well, that's what I was trying to get into, was sound. So when you take metal and you clank it around near him, the symbiote freaks out because again, it doesn't like that. So this isn't really the same way it would happen, but it is still very nice that this weakness was added. Fire is also another weakness. I do this, I do this, I do this. Eventually, it should give out, but he will heal once it comes to its senses. Ooh, this might be the bug that I was talking about. Yeah, okay, so sometimes it is very buggy and it doesn't work. I think it has to be a living part of his body, maybe? No, it's just not working. This is maybe if I revive him. Yeah, you see it's trying to attach to him, but it won't. Let's remove this one. We can see that if a certain piece of his body is removed, this has been showcased. I already showed this by accident a couple times, but if a bit of him is gone, and that was an accident. If a bit of him is gone and you activate the symbiote will completely regenerate these body parts. Come back, it'll be like nothing ever changed, except for when it does that, because it's not supposed to happen. Fire is among another one of the weaknesses. We can do this with the flamethrower. It's not the flamethrower. Notice how he immediately leaves his body. We can extinguish the fire, and when he's not on fire, the venom can come back into his body. Not the venom, the symbiote. His name is Venom. And now he's perfectly fine as he's no longer on fire and isn't hot enough to be getting set on fire. Um, these seem to be about the extent of Venom's powers. He's basically immune to bullets. reflecting them or just completely absorbing them. He can't be stabbed unless it's again by Excalibur. What else? What else do we have here? Oh, here. The final ability that's here is to transfer the symbiote and Little Venom. Little Venom, I have no idea if it's supposed to actually do anything. I think this is just a visual gag to make a small reference to what was happening. Again, I believe that this version of Venom, I believe this symbiote is based off of the version of Venom that's present in the movie Venom. So I believe this is just a visual gag because it doesn't actually do anything. Shooting this little guy does nothing, so harming it doesn't do anything. Shooting this guy will, I don't know, maybe it does something. Yeah, no, so he's fine. You can still activate him while Venom is out. The Venom will come in. So, to my knowledge, it's nothing more than just a little visual gag. Um, it's a nice little detail though. It's very cute. Activate Venom, little Venom. Let's see that, and let's see what happens when we transfer the symbiote. So we can take the symbiote and we can transfer it to another person. So if we do this and we click transfer symbiote, symbiote will leave and it will go. It should leave his body, but sometimes it doesn't. Again, it's buggy. There we go, and it will go to the closest person. Now it belongs to him. Now he's Venom. And again, this guy has all the same abilities, so he can eat this guy. If he'll get eaten, oh my god. Whatever. Yeah, it's fine. Doesn't matter. And those are all of Venom's abilities. Let me know if I missed anything. I went over his weapons, his tendrils, his these things, these big ass spikes. Um, I went over how he regenerates. I went over his eating. I went over all the visual gags and visual references that are present. Yeah, I believe that's everything. That is the Venom mod. We can look at some of his strength. Let's see. Yes, he's on fire now, and so obviously he can't. He didn't leave because of the damage that he sustained. He left because of the fire. Because if I activate it again, it's oh, he left again. This is a bug again. Generally doesn't happen very often, but it is happening a little more often than honestly more often than normal today, which is a bit unfortunate because now certain parts of his body are on fire that don't exist yet because it was removed before those parts of his body were actually meant to exist. This is unfortunate. What am I supposed to do? You can revive him, and let's see if this will work. Oh, I think I crashed my game. Well, that's been the video. I've never encountered that before, so just be careful if your Venom is on fire. Um, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.